What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new commentary video, and we're back in studio today, so I feel real back in my element. I'm having a good old time hanging out in the studio with you guys today. But anyways, I just want to hop right into things just because we got a big video today, and I'm just really excited, so let's hop right into this. So today we have a question here from Aaron, so I'm going to go ahead and read that. What's going on, Hunter? I have a really quick question for you. A handful of my friends have come to me lately and told me that I'm not doing great in my current relationship. They're telling me that I'm being a doormat and that I need to stick up for myself and I need to be a quote-unquote man. Just wanted to know what you think about this and what should I do? I feel like I'm spending an equal amount of time with my friends and her. What do you think I need to do? So this is a really important question to me because I've kind of talked about it. And before I say this, I want to make this clear that I don't mean what I'm about to say in the sense of an incel perspective or an Andrew Tate sort of perspective. I'm telling this from the perspective of somebody that's been there and somebody that's witnessed it happen to their own friends. Let me be clear. There are going to be times in your life where your friends are going to send you astray and tell you that you're being a doormat. In some cases, you're not going to be. And this is what I'm going to tell you. I want you to try your best not to be a doormat. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, once again, I've seen it and I've been through it myself. There's lots of times in your life where you're going to feel like you're spending equal times with people, or you're feeling like I need to spend more time with this specific person. In this case, it's your girlfriend. And here's the thing. I do think that it's good to spend time with your partner, but I also do think that it's good to be able to spend time away from each other. I feel like there's sort of this thing where in modern dating culture where there needs to be literally 24 hours spent with your partner. I don't agree with that whatsoever. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not good for your mental health to spend too much time with one person, no matter who you are. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that in modern relationships. They do this thing where they want to spend so much time together. And that's fine if you want to spend a lot of time together, but there's a difference between spending lots of time together and spending too much time together. Now, here's the thing. I don't know how much time you're actually spending with your girlfriend, but I'm going to give you sort of my ground rules, and you can kind of tell me if you're spending more time, less time, whatever, and kind of evaluate from there on your own accord. So here's the thing. When it comes to me and my relationship, I do spend a good amount of time, whether if that's on FaceTime, texting, or, spending time in person. Here's the thing. This is my general rule of thumb. I work part-time because I'm still a student. I spend about 20 hours a week doing that. And then I spend about 30 hours a week during schoolwork. And then I don't know how many hours I spend on the channel. I spend, on average, this is in-person time, either equal to or a little less time than what I spend on my side hustle or side career with my partner. So in that case, it's this channel. On average, this is weekly, not monthly. This is weekly. And there's a couple different reasons why I'm going to tell you that. I think that a lot of people in general have this idea that, like I've said, they need to spend all their time with their partner. And they are going to be told what to do by their partner. I don't think that's a healthy way to live. I don't think that a partner should be telling you what to do, and I don't think you should be telling your partner what to do either. That's something that I believe in. I think that especially in 2025, we are our own people. We can make our own decisions. And with that, I don't think that they should be mad at you if you need to delegate your time in other places. And you need to, is the thing. You can't spend your time in life doing one thing. I've talked about that before. I've talked about being able to balance your work life and, personal life and gaming life and stuff like that. But with that, you also need to be able to balance your dating life. You can't spend all of your time dating. You can't spend all of your time enjoying pleasure. And that's why I think it's important to find this balance. I know a lot of people in my life that clearly do not have that balance. They have a very unclear balance between their work life and their personal life. I think that there needs to be a good balance on both ends. I think that you need to be able to say, I'm stepping away from work. I'm going to learn to respect myself. I'm going to learn to set boundaries. I'm going to learn to do these things. And I think you need to do the exact same thing for your personal life. You can't be spending all of your time gaming. You can't spend all of your time working. You can't spend all of your time with your partner. That is something that I strongly believe in. There needs to be a balance between all three of these things. So really what I would do is sit down and sort of figure out what is the general time frame that I'm spending with my partner, what's the general time frame that I'm working, schoolwork, whatever. And you need to be able to figure out how to balance it. And I feel like it is, you don't need to necessarily do this, but every once in a while I will, because I almost write down a budget, but I'm doing it with my time and what I'm doing my days with. I don't have one of those crazy daily schedules or anything like that, but I try to keep a relatively consistent schedule, and it breaks all the time. I'm not perfect. That's one thing I want to say. I break that schedule a lot, man. Whether if it's here on the channel, or whether if it's especially like when BO6 came out, like I fucked my schedule, man. So I think that it's important every once in a while to sit down and write that down and sort of figure it out for yourself. Are you being a doormat? And another good metric too is how quick are you picking up your phone? Because I do think that it's important to respond to your partner. I think that it's also important to give them that respect, of course. But there's a big but there you've noticed. That is because while I completely think that you need to be able to respond quickly, if I'm with my friends or I'm with my family or I'm recording or whatever it may be, I should not have to rush to that phone. And they should be able to understand that you can't always respond. This is a boundary that I've set with basically every relationship I've been in. Understand something, that there are going to be times in my life that I'm going to be busy. And one of those major times is when I'm working on the channel. My partner knows that during this time, during the week, I'm going to be busy sitting down, writing, editing, and recording this. That's a boundary that we've set. And the same boundary has been set by them when it comes to when they're at work or whatever it may be, or a project they're working on. Do the same. Seriously, do the same. And even if it's just with your friends, set that boundary. And if she's like, I don't care you're with your friends, you still need to respond to me. Brother, that's the biggest red flag I've ever fucking seen. That is a major red flag. If she cannot give you that space for a couple hours or whatever it may be, that is a major red flag. Like, genuinely. If she cannot give you that space or understand that there is going to be times where you cannot respond in a timely manner, that's a major red flag. Like, genuinely. I have once again seen many people that can't do that. They can't go without checking their phone if they get a text. They can't be apart. That is genuinely dangerous fucking behavior. Like, it is kind of like you're leaning in that territory of I'm being a doormat. I am letting them control my life. No, I want to make that clear. You are a man. Okay, you are your own person, and this goes to women too. You are your own woman. Don't let somebody else create these boundaries for you. You don't want people create your schedule. That's what's amazing about where we live, is that you're able to create your own time. You're able to create your own schedule. So I want you to be able to do that, brother. I want you to be able to feel that you are feeling respected. Your boundaries are being respected. All these things. You are creating time. And when I say that you're creating time for each other, that does not mean that every moment needs to be spent together. It is perfectly acceptable to have time that is not set together. That's something that I see a lot of people don't do. They don't have these times where they're not together. And that's my biggest thing that I want to remind you is, like, your friends might be right, because there are plenty of people that will tell you that you're spending too much time with somebody, or you're doing these things, or you're being a doormat when maybe you're not, right? And I'm going to assume that, you've mentioned that it's more than one friend. I don't know how many friends you have. But if the whole group is telling you, just take a step back and look yourself. Don't just automatically believe them and trust them. But like I said, use the techniques that I've talked about. Step back, look at your schedule, look at the time that you're spending with your partner, look at the time that you're spending with your friends, at work, at school, whatever it may be. Just take a step back and look. And another thing too is you can really kind of tell this way too, is if you're spending too much time not doing your favorite things. It's kind of where my personal experience gets in. I talked about it in the personal video where I sat down and talked to the guys. There was a little bit of time where I wasn't really into gaming because I was spending so much time with that fucking girl I was in love with, or that I thought that I was in love with. And because of that, I stepped away from my friends. I stepped away from gaming. I stepped away from these things that I loved. That's not healthy. That's not what you're supposed to do, right? So if you're finding yourself stepping away from these, video games or movies or TV or reading or cooking, whatever it may be, and you're instead of replacing that time with obscene amounts of time with your partner, maybe it's time to reevaluate your priorities, in my opinion. But that's what I would tell you to do, is take a step back, look at how much time you're spending on things, and just kind of evaluate, am I spending too much time with them? Am I being a doormat? Because that's the other thing too. If you kind of know that these things are wrong, and that you're spending too much time, or you're not spending enough time on other things, then yeah, it's time to reevaluate. But anyways, thank you so much, Aaron, for your question. As always, this podcast is sponsored by W Energy. If you are interested, there's a link down in the description to get 10% off of anything on their website. That includes energy drinks, energy formulas, hydration formulas, and their merchandise, where you can use code POINTC10 at checkout for 10% off. And as always, there's a link to join our Discord. We like to hang out, chat, and all that great stuff, and we post sneak peeks to videos in there. So stop by, check it out. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you on the next video. Peace!
A song to me is more than just some bullshit in words. It's the only time some nobody like me will be heard. I was that kid that would get picked last, never the one that would skip class, never the puff when the piff passed. So me and a rap is a mismatch, right? Your stereotype got me feeling uptight, I've been wanting to fight, I've been up every night as I write and I write, I've been looking for light in the dark.